Hello and welcome to A Gypsy's Kiss, our first travel vlog. Today we are exploring the National Museum of Nuclear Science and History. If you're ever in Albuquerque and you're looking for something to do, out near the Kirkland Air Force Base is this museum, and it gives you a lot of information about nuclear science and the history of nuclear science from the early 1900s, late 1800s, up through modern day. There's even an area for kids to play in, so let's go inside and see what it's all about.
Hey, this is Toby Yonis with the Gypsy's Kiss, and today Shelley and I are at the National Museum of Nuclear Science and History.
Yes.
Did I get it right? And I've asked one of the folks that work here if they could spend a couple of minutes just talking about the museum. So first of all, tell me what your name is.
I am Jennifer Hayden, and I'm the Director of PR and Marketing at the National Museum of Nuclear Science and History.
So I suppose the first question that we'd like to ask is, why is this museum here?
Oh gosh, so our museum, the National Museum of Nuclear Science and History, we tell the story of the atomic age, from early uses such as the Manhattan Project in the Cold War to today's peaceful uses of nuclear technology, nuclear energy, nuclear medicine. And where it all really began was Los Alamos, the Manhattan Project, with the creation of the very first atomic weapon.
So this is a representation of what you might have seen in Los Alamos when they were working on the Manhattan Project. Los Alamos is located just a little north of Santa Fe, and it was a secret town. If you were to write to somebody who was living there, you would use a Santa Fe address, P.O. Box. So this is what they were working on. They were learning about containment and critical mass, critical assembly. So they had to discover how much material could be in an area without reacting, without having detonation, and then they had to discover how much material they needed for detonation. So it was a lot of dangerous experiments going on. They, in fact, called it tickling the dragon's tail because it was so dangerous, and they were often exposed to radiation throughout their
And
experiment.
since that is New Mexico, here in Albuquerque, it all really came together. We have so many artifacts. A lot of people think, well, you must have bombs, and we do. We have the largest collection of declassified nuclear weapons in the world. Currently, only a fifth of them are on display, though, because there are so many. But we also really just look at the whole gamut of nuclear, from science, technology, engineering, mathematics, every aspect of it, to be America's resource for nuclear history and science.
So as we went through our tour, we saw a broad variety of exhibits from early nuclear science to weaponry to medicine. Tell our viewers, what kind of things can they expect to see when they visit the museum?
Oh, absolutely. When you come into the museum, of course, you're greeted with this huge periodic table of elements that's in our very large lobby area. So that really kind of sets the tone that this is science. When you walk through, it very much starts in World War II, the Manhattan Project. You can see casings of Fat Man.
These are replicas of the bombs that were dropped on Japan to end World War II. The green one is Little Boy, dropped on Hiroshima, and the big yellow one is called Fat Boy, dropped on Nagasaki. This is a replication of what they called the Gadget, which was the first atomic device that was tested at Trinity Site. That looks to me like the Gadget hanging from the platform at Trinity Site that they detonated to see if it would work.
Our outdoor exhibit area is Heritage Park, so that's our 9-acre outdoor exhibit area. We have a lot of airplanes, our B-29 Super Fortress, our B-52 Stratofortress. We even have a nuclear submarine sail in Heritage Park. And newer to our collection is our 100-foot Trinity Tower in Heritage Park. It's been here about a year. It is the only replica of the Trinity Tower, which held the very first atomic weapon that was tested in Trinity, White Sands, New Mexico in 1945. But coming back in, we have atomic pop culture.
Let's go back to the future.
We have a lot of areas for kids too. Little Albert's Lab, so very engaging, fun, interactive science activities. My 2 little boys love that, and the airplanes, that's the best. And then nuclear energy, nuclear medicine, uranium mining, everything that is very relevant to New Mexico and where we are here in the United States as well.
The National Museum of Nuclear Science and History proved to be an educational and enlightening way to spend an afternoon exploring the benefits and hazards of nuclear energy and science. Anyone visiting Albuquerque should consider visiting, and remember, there are several hands-on activities, experiments, and exhibits, especially for kids, and plenty of room to run around or have a picnic in the outdoor back lot where the airplanes and Trinity Tower are housed. Many of the exhibits are a stark reminder of why we shouldn't forget the danger or speak lightly of using nuclear weapons. The ever-present fear of world war, death, and mass destruction should continue to inform our diplomacy efforts as a nation. I felt especially disturbed by the aftermath photos of the bombing of Hiroshima and hope to never see that horror repeated. Nuclear energy and technology can bring us amazing and useful advances in science, medical, and space exploration. The more we focus on peace, education, and prosperity for our world, the further forward we can move together in safety and harmony. We're at the gift shop. You always have to stop at the gift shop on the way out. Look at this. Saltwater car.
So this is Toby Eunice for Shelley Carney and the Gypsy's Kiss. We had a wonderful day here at the museum, and we strongly recommend that should you find yourself in Albuquerque, this is one of the places that you want to visit. The exhibits are so different from museums of any other kind. I think you'll just be fascinated with the technology and how far it's evolved from the time it was first experimented with in the early 1900s through the World War, of course, and into the present. And there is some indication of what's going to happen in the future. And it balances science with history, and we strongly recommend that you come to visit. So again, this is Toby Eunice with Shelley Carney for A Gypsy's Kiss. Thanks for joining us today.
We have more information about the National Museum of Nuclear Science and History in the description box below this video. Let us know if you decide to visit the museum and tell us what you think. Thanks for watching. Please like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already.